My name is Jimmy Purdy, shop owner, master tech, transmission builder, and the host of the Gearbox Podcast. Here I talk with new and seasoned shop owners, as well as industry professionals about day-to-day operations within their own shops and all the failures and successes that come along the way. From what grinds your gears to having to shift gears in the automotive industry, this is the Gearbox Podcast. So it's good to have you back.
Well, thank you.
Back into the Gearbox Podcast.
Missed it.
Where you been?
Just been around, busy.
Okay.
Busy at work.
That's good. I thought you'd been here.
I've been here. You just never noticed me.
Yeah, I guess not.
Been too busy for me.
I am? I don't feel like I am.
I don't know.
I guess that translates well into what we got to talk about, huh?
Which is...
being busy.
Oh, yeah.
And needing help. Right? How do you find help? How do you find good help? That's what the people want to know.
That's a good question.
That is the question.
I think I got to say it hasn't been difficult for me.
It has not been difficult.
It has not been difficult to me.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
you got people just flocking to you?
I think the right people just happen to fall right in my lap. Oh, not like that though.
That's weird.
No, not like that.
Why do you say something like that?
Right place, right time. I don't know.
This is a family podcast. What are you talking about?
No, it just...
Well, lucky you, because the rest of us are out here struggling.
I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know
if I'm... your ethnic background? Maybe?
I guess, that could be part of it, yeah. I got to say...
Okay.
I mean... Everybody, I mean,
but real talk. How do you? So you're busy and you need help. I mean, I got to go on Indeed. I spend $1,000 a month. I got to repost every freaking 8.5 seconds to make sure my listing stays on the top of the page. I don't know. Just constantly putting it out there. Facebook. I don't think I do Craigslist anymore, but just ads everywhere and anywhere. But You've just hired someone new, right?
Yeah, I got a couple guys.
But where did they come from?
I mean, it's somebody that knew somebody that knows somebody that.
What are you talking about?
I mean, it's one of those. Oh, excuse me. Let me turn off my phone. How rude of me.
Oh, that was.
No.
Why don't you answer him? Put him on.
No, it's okay.
Answer the phone. Let's hear what who is it? Who's that? Is that the wife? Let's see what she wants to say.
That's not the wife.
Are we having enchiladas for dinner?
It's my. It's one of my employees.
Yeah, that happens.
Look at that.
See? Speak of the devil, as we're talking about. See how that works?
No, but it was, the good thing, when I needed somebody, it was already in the work. So what I always do is I always kind of, even though I don't need somebody at that moment, I kind of start preparing myself as like, okay, start keeping.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common practice, though.
I mean, that's pretty much all I do. I don't do what you do. I don't post stuff on Indeed or Facebook, or I don't advertise none of that. It's just.
So you have you have qualified technicians walking into your shop saying, "Can I please work for you?"
They don't come like that, but. I mean, like this last guy I hired. I mean, not the last guy, the first guy I hired, just recently. He just happened to come at the right time, because this guy used to work at Ford for 24 years or so. So he just got to the point where he just got tired of, I guess you could say, the politics. They're the dealership.
Yeah,
and
the dealership.
Dealerships. It's a whole different ball game there, but he just got tired of all that, and was thinking of trying something different. And at that time, I mean, I wasn't looking for anybody, but I would just kind of, just here and there, just talking to him, kind of getting an idea how he feels and fill him out pretty much. And
So how's that process work for you when you're like looking at hiring somebody?
How does it look like?
Yeah, like how are you vetting them?
See
Is it like do you like pina coladas?
No,
Getting caught in the rain? Like what kind of questions?
I just simply ask them if they like long walks on the beach.
That's it, huh?
And that's it. I was like, well, you mean you? Well, I think we're gonna fit perfect together because I do too. So, no, it just,
that's the hardest part. Is like how do you qualify a candidate? If especially if you're new and you're like starting out, like you just want a warm body and you just think that I don't know. For me, it was like, I mean, if you're in this field, you can pretty much do anything, kind of, right? In a sense, and then some people will overqualify themselves and tell you they can do things that they cannot. And then you got the ones that underrate themselves, where they can do a lot more than they say they can. So it's like, how do you? What even kind of questions do you start asking?
Well, that's the thing.
And it's like, do you even care about that, or you just want to like, hey, I mean, for you, do you just want to like hang out with somebody that's attractive to you that you can, grab ass with or whatever? I don't know.
See
what's the most important thing for you?
That's the thing. I don't think I have. When I'm looking for somebody, so far, I mean, in this 6-7 years that I had to be hiring people, so far it's been twice so far that I've had to find somebody for help, and I don't go through the same process as say you would in the hiring process of interviewing, questioning, and all that. I think for me, so far, it's been people that I knew. So I already kind of know a little bit of the background, their work ethic, pretty much everything I need to know. And the fact that this last guy that I got, I mean, he would come into the shop every so often and kind of help my other employee with his projects and stuff like that. So I kind of saw a little bit of his work ethic there and what he could do, what he's capable of doing, what not, and so on and forth. So I got an idea there and I got a vibe from him. So when the time came where he was looking for something or a place, then I felt comfortable enough to offer him.
So you had like a pre-vetting. Like
pretty much. And so, and the fact that, like I said, I knew him already, so it's not just like I'm hiring somebody. I
don't know. Sometimes that could be worse.
It's something. Well, yeah, you're right. Sometimes it could be worse.
And it's like even harder to,
you're right.
Sever that relationship.
You're absolutely right.
It's like, especially family. You like hire your brother or something like that.
Oh, family's the worst. Family's the worst. I've been through that already. It's just bittersweet.
But they could be it could be like a really good technician, but you guys just don't get along.
Right.
Or you guys could get along really great, but they're just not a great technician.
Right.
But I mean,
so that's pretty much how it's worked for me so far, and it seems like it's working. This last guy, this young kid that I got, he just happened to show up one day and just kind of like a stray kitty, just showed up and made his home right there, and I just let him hang out. And
that's very odd for me to wrap my hand around. I just don't understand it at all.
No, it was one of the weirdest things because, like I said, I wasn't looking for anybody.
It seems very normal to you. It seems like that was that was a normal situation. Like, look, I found another employee. Like, what do you mean you found another employee? Like
the weirdest.
And it's not just an employee, but you found another technician, and it's like an auto technician with like a decade of experience. He's just wandering down the street and the wind blew him in. You're like, oh, you know what? Here, put your toolbox here, and coffee's out back, and we have tacos every Friday or like
Wednesday,
whatever.
We went to Wednesday. No, but it's just the weirdest thing. The weirdest things happen there. I don't know what, but this kid, he's still young. He's 19. He doesn't know better, but this kid just started. He worked for one of the auto parts stores, and he was just mentioning that he wasn't getting enough hours and there anymore, and they were cutting back more and more, and he loved turning wrenches, just on his own car, and he knew a little bit of just the basic oil change and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, cool.
So here's an interesting thing. So now he's 19. He has zero automotive experience. So how are you managing him?
Well, see, first I took him on as just like a cleanup grunt. You know, just
yeah, but aren't you afraid, like, if he's like, we need more auto techs, and if you bring this kid on with no experience and you force him to sweep floors and take the trash out, aren't you afraid he's gonna like, well, I don't want to work at a shop. All I do is I'm just a janitor.
Well, and that's the thing, though.
You know, so it's like,
no, that's the thing. He slowly starting to transition into.
So you're starting to feed him.
Oh
more.
yeah, of course. I mean,
Okay.
that's not the only thing I'm having.
How do you monitor it though?
Well, I mean, just I either keep an eye on him myself, depending on what job he's doing, or one of the guys kind of shadow him as he's doing a job. And the guys there are pretty good about kind of taking him under his wing and teaching him, you know, certain ethic.
I mean, just making sure it's done right. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, and he's been. I mean, as far as just doing the basic stuff like oil changes, brake jobs, and stuff like that, he's pretty much already got that down. He still, you know, of course, he still needs some finessing, but for the most part, you know, just the basic oil changes, brakes, no problem at all. And he start venturing into other jobs, like which we do keep a good eye on him when he does certain stuff. Like the other day, he just surprised me. I mean, he just knocked out a rack and pinion on a Lexus, which was like, to him, was just a big, humongous job to do, and it was. But with the help of the guys, kind of guiding them and him doing it, I mean, he got it done. And so he's one of those guys that he's.
How does the future of that look? I mean, you have your other techs that are paid productivity.
Yeah.
And, and so, yeah, it's fun. It's all fun. It's always nice to bring someone new in and teach them. But, like, how does that process work in, like, 6 months when obviously you're not going to learn? I mean, you're not going to know that. Like, you're going to figure it out and you're going to get help, but you're not going to be a veteran in 6 months.
No.
You're still going to need a lot of help. Every single job that comes in the door is a brand new job to him, where your guys could be like knocking that work out quickly. So it's like, how does that look like in 6 months? Like, are they going to get like a paid incentive to help them? Is it?
No, and that's the other thing. I've talked to my guys about that too. I mean, I try not to just put him on them at all times.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, because I get it. I mean, that's going to just take away from their productivity.
But also they're excited to help, so they're going to be jumping on that opportunity to help them.
Yeah.
To like teach them, but they're going to burn out on that pretty quick.
No, and
like we all do. You want to
yeah.
help to a certain extent, but then it starts cutting in your own paycheck, and you're like, I can't keep up with it.
No.
And he's going to be dependent on these people helping him, and then they're going to cut that tap off. They're going to shut the tap off, and then it was so I don't know. I see the internship and the apprenticeships and like bringing in someone new, but I just see these problems like down the road where that happens, and then it breeds a bad culture, and it's all because of money, really. I mean, but someone gets used to this help, and then the help gets turned off, and it's just like that. You know how the guys are. You know how the techs. All of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm done. Like.
No,
and we're all the same when it comes to the automotive industry. Not saying it's a bad thing. Like we get to a point and then we're done. Like there's no more. Like I need to get caught up with my stuff, and then I can help you. And then so it's just interesting to do that without like a certain design plan together.
No, and I already went through that with one of the guys already before, so I kind of learned my lesson there.
Yeah, I could see
that. Where it wasn't turning out great. I mean, exactly what you just talked about. It got to the point where it's like, I got to finish my stuff too. So I can't even have to hold off or whatever. And so, it brought some tension into the shop when that started happening. So at that point, I kind of just cut that off real quick. But with this kid, I try to put it upon myself to keep an eye on him. That way they're not fully relying on, he's not fully relying on them to help out. But, when one of the guys happen to be right next to each other or a stall or something, and then you just got to pop over and look, whatever, they do that. But for the most part, I try to keep him on pretty maintenance stuff, just oil changes, brakes, stuff that he's pretty comfortable with now that he's not going to need any help. Once in a while, yeah, kind of throw him a bone there and something a little more challenging so you can start, getting a little bit more experience and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, that's when one of us will kind of jump in and just kind of shadow him, but it ain't that often. That's strictly what I hired him for at the beginning, was just for that, just a kid to clean up, do.
So just flat hourly, you're not worried about.
Yeah, I'm flat hourly. I mean, that way there's, once it gets, he is going to get to the point where he's going to be well enough experienced to where, when the time comes, I mean, bump him to flag time or something when I start seeing him. He's actually hang, but that's going to be way down the road. You still got some time.
Yeah.
But
no training programs or anything. You're just just like throw them to the wolves and
pretty much
see what you can do.
That's pretty much how it is. That's how they taught me how to swim. You just throw me in the water. There you go.
I guess
it works for me. Why can't it work for anyone?
We all weren't raised in 1970, but
no. But I've had my conversations with them as far as this doesn't stop here. We have training. We do. That goes for all of us, but we got training. We do, evening classes or, and I'm a big believer in that of training. So education. So, when those trainings come up, I try to sign up the guys for them too. And that way,
it's just such a slow, long process when you're dealing with someone,
It is. And I'm preparing myself for that long road. I mean, if he's still, and that's clearly what I talked to him about too, is like, hey, if you see yourself doing this for the long haul, then we could work together on this. There's, training, there's all these resources at your disposal that you could use. Yeah. But I don't know if I was too straightforward when I told him, but I just don't want to waste my time. If you're just doing it as just something temporarily where you were looking for a job. But before I hired him, I kind of saw it in him that he really liked working on cars. Yeah. So I was like, all right, you're still young. Kind of reminded me a little bit of me when I was 19. I just got started.
You saw the reflection, huh?
I saw the fire in his eye, and I was like, you know what?
I think you're trying to project a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
So I
think it's the biggest mistake you make is projecting. No, that's not what's going on. He's got his own motivations.
He's got his own motivations,
and who knows what it is. But to move away from the youngins, when you're talking about hiring a seasoned professional technician, that's a different vetting process.
No, it is.
So they're not going to want, we'll be paying this kid $20 an hour, $25 an hour, whatever. And you're going to hire someone that's seasoned, and you're looking at spending $80,000 to $100,000 a year to hire on an A-level tech. And you have them obviously just falling out of the trees into your lap. Is that what you said? In your lap, right?
Well,
so I don't know how I don't know how that's happening for you.
I got a tree that I shake.
For the rest of us that have to spend a ton of money to even get them into the door, to then spend a bunch of money to keep them in the door, which I don't have a problem with. I enjoy someone that's very, very talented and educated. And I enjoy paying them for that because I think they should be paid for that, right? So that's not what I mean. But the amount of money and time it takes to get them in and then keep them in, put the golden handcuffs on them, all that stuff, right? You can't just do that with anybody. And so I think for me, my hiring process is it's not the greatest. I mean, it's basically like what you're saying.
It's not bad.
Let's give it 90 days and see what happens. I mean, that's kind of how I feel. And, but that can be very difficult. I've hired a lot of people. It's like they said they do something, they can't. And then you're having this conversation after conversation. It's like, hey, so I know we're having a difference of opinion here, but when you signed the employee contract, it said you'd be here at 8 and you're not here at 8. It also says you got to give me 24 hours notice if you're not going to show up. If you're not feeling good the night before, let me know. And it's been 3 or 4 days so far in the past month that you haven't shown up and haven't called till middle of that day. So I guess we have a difference of opinion. I don't know what else is it's like, oh, and it's like at the end of the day, like I just can't keep doing this, and you keep trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because, like you said, it's like, oh, I kind of see myself in there. I see a little bit of a reflection. I see a little Jimmy in there, but it's not. It's not at all, you know. And they say, oh, they're all right things, and they're saying this and that, and it's like, oh, that all sounds good, but at the end of the day, it's like they are very good at manipulating the situation, you know, like they've done this their whole life, and that's why they say all the right things to you, and they got all these excuses. But then you have like an actual person with an actual excuse, and you have this like this PTSD, right? You're like, here we go again, like a bunch of excuses again, but it ends up being like real, and you're like, it's like that's like the hardest part. Like you're trying to like,
it just sounds like a relationship.
Oh my god, it's like you want it to be black or white, and it's like all this gray in the middle, and you're like. So you just try to like keep everything with a grain of salt, right? Is what they say, but it's like the PTSD is real, man.
That's the thing. No, yeah, it's like being in a relationship, and then after being in this toxic relationship for a long time, it messes you up.
Messes your head up.
The right person comes along, you don't know how to trust them. You know, he's
you
like,
can't trust them. Huh?
Hey, trust issues is like I've been hurt before. I
don't
want to open up.
It's like you wait a long time before you start making mixed CDs again. You know,
yeah.
Like a lot of my heart and soul in those CDs. I'm not just gonna make them for anybody.
Nah, you're not. You take me back to memory lane, man. Mix
8 tracks, I guess.
Mix. Nah, come on now. Really?
Cassettes. I'm sorry.
Dude.
The cassettes. I'm sorry.
Cassettes.
The old CD-ROMs. You know.
Oh my gosh, those were the days, huh?
With handwritten notes on them.
Oh my god.
And for you, it was like summer of '72 or whatever.
Nah, come on now. 90s. 90 baby. No, but it's tough, you know, when they like you're saying, when they keep on promising you things and they don't come through, you know, and
then you try to change someone, right? It's like the biggest mistake you can make.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna be the one to change somebody. But then it does happen. Sometimes you do have a disagreement between the owner and the technician or service writer. Or even between the service writer and the technician. Maybe there's some of those going on where at the dealerships, the technician's just not pulling his weight for the service writer or advisor. Sorry, service advisor. Service advisor, not writer. Anyway, so you got the tech and the SA battling it out, and it's this toxic relationship where it's like, I'm not sending him any work because every time I do, he doesn't diagnose it correctly, and then I gotta talk to the customer, and he just doesn't understand. And meanwhile, the tech's got the animosity, like, oh, they just give me this bullshit work all the time. They never send me any gravy. So it's like this toxic relationship. And you would say people never change, and that's never gonna work. But then they sit down and talk, and all of a sudden they become a great team. And it's the same thing with the owner and technician, owner and SAs. Like the same things happen, but you think you can fix anybody, and it's like you can't, right? Like, but I'm sure you got guys now that you've had your disagreements with, and you're like getting ready. I'm ready to pull the plug. Like, it's time for this guy to go. Like, I can't keep doing this every year. And then all of a sudden, it just takes that one conversation, and all of a sudden, like, that's it. That's all you wanted to hear. Like, that's this whole time.
No, that's
man. Why don't you just say something?
That's every year, man. That's a conversation I have every single year with one of my guys. It's just I keep them same thing. I keep on telling myself. And that's the thing. That's my seasoned tech. You know that. You know and you're right when you're saying, you know, when you hire people that you know or really close to. I mean, it makes it difficult at the end to kind of cut ties, because it's like, man, we go way back. You know, back to middle school, stuff like that, and you know, but.
You gotta you gotta put that in the back of your mind, though.
Yeah.
I mean, take the emotions out of it and just say this is just business. And it's hard.
It's hard, but I got to the point already where I got there already. I had to, because
you have to. You have no choice.
Because I mean, it wasn't going anywhere. I mean, it just at least once a year, and I don't know what causes it, but you know, you get in one of those moods where just
burn out
kind of thing. And, you know, just so, you know, it goes for about a week or so. And finally, you know, just, you know, you need a vacation, take a vacation. And he goes off and does that and comes back like a new person. Everything, like nothing happened. I was like, whoa. Or sometimes having that conversation, like you said, sometimes it was just the matter of having that conversation what's going on, this and that.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just petty stuff, It's like, really?
That's it, huh?
All that for this, really? I mean,
It's amazing, isn't it?
And no matter how much,
nobody tells you that stuff when you start on.
No, and that's the thing. As it is for me, it's always been hard having communication or certain conversation. Just because it just.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you never had you just picked up on the cues and made sure you continued doing what you needed to do.
Yeah.
To make it right. And I don't think that's something that a lot of people have. I think a lot need to be sat down and like, hey, let's just talk for a few minutes. Even though they say they don't. Like, I don't need that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but you do. I mean, I do. I appreciate it now, I never did it before.
Yeah.
It brought a lot of animosity.
Yeah.
I was a very angry person for a long time.
You?
I mean, a little bit.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was internal. It was like internalized.
You're like the sweetest person. I mean, you're sweeter than tea.
What kind of tea, though?
I like a raspberry.
Raspberry
tea.
Raspberry. I like peach tea.
It's like, come on,
sweet
man.
Peach tea,
I think it's just
the look.
But
it does though.
The look that you have. It's just I always told you that look that you have is like, oh crap, I don't want to talk to him. And it's like,
yeah, see, it's like deep. It's like deep sea because I never let it come out. It's like just bury it down.
Yeah,
a lot of animosity, frustration, but deal with it. And then it just burns in the back of your retinas, and then when you look at me, you can just see it back there.
Well, that's like the look you're giving me right now. Is that look? I mean, it's like if that looks can kill, and that's what it comes from, dude. And with that beard going on, dude, you're like a serial killer, dude. Of course, they're gonna be all.
I mean, this is the white thing. This is just what we. I mean, this is what we do. I'll start losing my hair pretty soon too.
Oh man! And once you go bald, that's it.
That's it.
That's a game over, man. It's a game changer.
But it's true though. I mean, you try to like keep everyone a good culture and have like meetings and talkings. And the one thing we do is like the company meeting. We'll do like the weekly sit downs, right? And I've talked about that a lot. And I think you were doing it for a little while. I think it's important. I think it's really important for everyone to sit down at the shop once a week. And even if nothing gets said, just to like sit down and just like we're all people and we're all just talking here. And it's not just always like go, 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 go. It's like just a little bit of like sit down and like we're all together. We can like just have a little discussion. And it's like, oh yeah, you know what? I had this problem with this truck and I didn't get to say because everyone was busy, but I did this and that and the other. And just like a venting session, if not anything else. Even though when you say it that way, nobody wants to do it. You're like, I don't need a powwow. Like,
well, it's just like therapy, A lot of people's like, I don't do that. It's just, I don't want to go to the whatever, like the AA meetings or whatever. It's like I don't want to talk about my feelings or talk about what. I mean, they're just not talkers, but
once you do it, it's like it's not that bad.
Once you do it, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
and I like our meetings. I mean, they just kind of turn into luncheons.
Yeah,
but ever so often, we do bring up a topic or something that happened or occurred or something.
And that's what's important about it. Because that would never happen without the organic nature of the meeting. And you just need to do like, I think I've talked to a few other guys, and they say the same thing like, oh, well, nothing really gets discussed. So we stopped doing it because we weren't going anywhere with it. It's like, you were though. Like that's not the point. Like you have to keep doing it and turn it into a cycle. And then it becomes organic to start like communicating,
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's like going to therapy the first time. Like, you're not going to, like, walk into the therapy and, like, start talking to this random person about all your intimate... Like, it takes, like, 15 freaking meetings before you're like, okay, now I understand you're a person, you understand I'm a person, like, and then you can actually talk. Like, that's the point of it, Like, and so I was getting to the point... So we do the company meetings, but we now want to do, like, one-on-one. Now that we have 3 techs here, I think it was kind of important to like sit them not sit them down, but we sit together one-on-one, instead of having everybody together and maybe they don't want to say something because so-and-so or whatever. Like, we'll just, so once a month, it's like, let's just do once a month. We'll sit down with each of them individually and we'll just, hey, anything going on? How's your life? How's your kids? Hey, what's your personal goals? Like, what do you want to do? Because, I mean, I think it takes years before like a team is like put together and working together enough to where you could be like, hey, I'd really like to get my ASCs, or I'd really like to take this class in hybrid diagnostic or even something outside of work. Like, hey, I'm part of this, whatever.
Right.
I don't know what's a good
Chess.
outside of work. What do
Chess.
people do besides auto stuff outside of work?
Play chess.
Chess? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
So I want to be a state champion of chess, and it's like, but they don't want to say that in front of all their peers, you know?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, it's like, so it's
what?
like,
Really?
So I try to tell them like, hey, so we're here. So if you have anything like even outside of work, like, hey, let's get you there. Like, you want to be a chess champion? Like, can we sponsor that? Can we like stuff like that?
I get that. Yeah, that's cool, and I'm all for that. I mean,
that's what I was like. We started doing that. I was like, is there anything like outside of work, during work, like training, like anything we can help you with? Like, oh, what do you mean? Like, I don't know, like. I don't want to like buy diapers for your kids, but if you need diapers for your kids, let us know and see what we, you know what I mean? Like what's going on? Like besides the work stuff, maybe you are in a position where you can't get diapers anymore and you need some help at this particular time because whatever happened, you needed a new well dug or something like that at your house. And oh man, I'm really struggling. Like, okay, hey, let me,
You're pretty good at that.
What's that?
Digging ditches.
Digging ditches?
Trenches. Yeah.
Digging wells?
Digging wells. You're pretty good at that. You can.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to dig the well. I'm not gonna dig them a well, but I'm just saying, like, or like maybe they're moving and they don't want to say nothing about it. Like, I got evicted, and they don't want to bring that up in front of everybody. Right. And it's like, hey, what's going on? It's like, oh, I actually got evicted. And I got to move, and I got to figure out. Well, I got a trailer. Like, let's go get your shit and move it. Like,
that's cool.
Stuff like that, Like, but you don't get that unless you like sit them down. And I'm not gonna get it the first couple times we sit down either. So it's like, let's keep doing this every month, and then they know that's an opportunity. If something's going on, it's like, hey, this is my opportunity to maybe get a helping hand. And it's not a handout, it's just like we're all in this together, man.
Yeah, and I would love to do stuff like that, offer stuff to my guys like that.
But the PTSD, right?
Yes.
Right?
And then
every time they take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Not every time,
but
it's enough to make you think twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, you know what? If I offer them something, they're going to want more. And that's the thing. It's always been the case where, I mean, they never allow me the opportunity to offer something as a gift or as something, just say it's coming from me to you. Thank you for this, whatever. It's always been demanded or asked for. And I said, dude, can't you give me the opportunity to?
But isn't that your fault though for not asking sooner?
Is it really sooner? I mean, how sooner could it be?
I don't know.
It's just,
I don't know.
I mean, it just seems like
I've been trying to really self-reflect lately about like every issue that comes up. Like, what could I have done differently to avoid this? Like, this was my fault. Whatever it is, like, name any situation. I'm always thinking like, what did I do wrong? Or not even what I did wrong. Like, what could I have done differently to avoid this situation? And sometimes when they get to that point, it's like, were you communicating enough with them? Were you having one-on-one meetings with them? Were you catching up with them at least once a month to say, hey, what's going on in your life? Are you mad at me about something? Is there anything I'm doing? You see, I'm not saying you personally have done something, and there's plenty of like...
I feel like you're judging me. I don't know.
And there's plenty of situations where it's like, no. It's absolutely like... That's absolutely, you've done everything you possibly could have, and it's just a burnout, technician, burnout employee. They just want to take and move on. They just want to leech and move on to the next, and leech, move on to the next, and that's just their MO. That's just what they do. And you can't, just like a bad client or bad customer, you can't, you just, sorry, this isn't the shop for you. It's time for you to go. Same thing with anybody that's in your shop. Like this is we're not. We have a difference of opinions. It's time for you to go.
Yeah,
But also, being that it's an employer, a technician, it's like, was there something you could have done to avoid getting to that point?
I don't know. I actually have thought about that, and
like, what am I doing wrong? Right?
Yeah.
But really dive into that though.
I give it a couple seconds and it's like, no.
That's about it,
That's not me.
It's not me. It's not you.
It's always them. It's never me. It's always them.
It's not me to you.
No, but it's
not you, it's me.
It's always been their MO, it's like, no matter what the situation is, You know, like for example, one of, you know, my guys, I mean, I've always, every time, you know, raise will be coming up and whatnot. I say, hey, listen, you've been asking and asking for a raise, you know, and it's coming up. It's going to happen. I said, but this is what I need from you. You know, none of this stuff that's been going on, like not showing up on time or just not doing what you're supposed to do.
I feel like it's already going in the wrong direction already.
Well, how's that?
Well, it's like you're promising something, and that's all they hear. Like they don't hear anything else. Like I feel like the expectations needed to be placed like so much further back before what you're saying.
No,
right
they
now.
were. They were been.
Yeah, but like how do you like say, oh, you got a raise coming, but you're not not living up to your expectations.
Well, I mean, it's like
so let's like get this figured out in the next couple of weeks. I'll make sure you get your raise.
No,
like,
I mean
what?
No, and I'm just making it clear to him is like we've had this conversation so many times, yet you're asking me for a raise.
Yeah.
I say, how do you expect that to happen?
You're not going to give them the raise.
Well, I
mean, you're just bringing up like, hey, you wanted a raise.
I'm bringing it up.
Okay.
You know, but it's like I need to see some changes here.
Yeah.
You know, and because in the past I have done that. I got to admit, where, you know, it's like I give them a raise and said, but you know, I need you to pick it up. I need you, you know.
That's never going to happen.
And then they start doing it for a bit, and then all of a sudden they go back to the same ways again. It's like,
right.
Here you go again, asking me for a raise when you can't even accomplish what we talked about last time. So how do you expect me this time around to say, okay, yeah, I'll give you a raise?
Right.
So now, like I said, it's a whole different ballgame with me because now I'm not the person that I used to be, where it's like, okay, yeah, I'll give you a raise. Now it's like, no, you know, first show me that you're able to handle what I'm asking you to handle. And then after you show me, you prove yourself, then we can start talking about.
But don't you think the whole, even just the concept of them asking you for a raise, isn't that something that you should already be in the process of? As far as like having like a procedure in where you're like, hey, look, so after a year, you're going to be up for a raise. These are the accomplishments and these are the things I need you to do in that year, that period. And if you accomplish these tasks, if you're on time, if you don't call in the day of, if you do all these things, whatever your personal, vendettas are, you've achieved 90% productivity for the year or whatever it is, whatever. And then at the end of that year, you say, hey, now you're up for your raise and you've accomplished A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. Here's your $5 an hour raise, $3 an hour raise. You know what I mean? So you see what I mean by like, it's like having that, like, what can I do different? And it's like, well, that's one thing. Like, instead of just having this verbal conversation about like what you see and what they see, like, here's it all written out. In 1 year, you're up for a raise. Okay. But I need to see these metrics in that year. And it's like, it's cut and dry. And that way you don't even have to think about it. It's like, hey, you did it. This is up for you. It's not my decision. This is what you agreed to, and I'm gonna lay it out. And as long as you sustain productivity, as long as you show up, as long as you use only the allotted time off that you've been given or requested, then I got no problem giving you more, That way it's like, because it's like the expectations is like, as a technician, you work really hard, right? I get it. Like you're just knocking work out, you're working hard, you're educating yourself, and then you have your hand out. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that mindset. You've been there. You work really hard and you feel like you are deserved because you're doing hard work. But there's no standards behind that. And you're looking at them like, you're not doing anything I need you to do, but they're looking at like, I'm doing everything in the world I possibly can for you. You know what I mean? It's like,
but I guess looking back, because I do that quite a bit where I think about myself, and as I look back and I was like, man, well, I never did this. I never did that. And that's kind of what I guess that's what I expect.
Your expectations are pushed on them, but
maybe
you haven't like laid it out into a sense of like, meet this criteria.
Because for me, when it came down to raises, like I never got a raise I didn't deserve, or I never asked for a raise. I always waited for them to be given to me, because at that point I feel like, you know what, I got this raise because I deserve this raise.
Yeah.
Not because
what were they based on though?
What?
Your raises, like how how was when you were working before you took over the shop? How was that given to you? Like, how was that presented?
I mean, it old school way, man. No, I mean,
What does that mean though?
He just came up to me as like, hey, I just want to let you know, your next paycheck, you get a raise. Oh, okay.
Based on what though?
I don't know.
Like inflation? Was it just? I mean, it might have just been inflation and keeping up with the times, and you're like, "Oh, I'm doing a really good job." It's like, no.
You know what? No, now you just bursting my bubble right there, man. Because this whole time,
well, I mean, you got to be realistic a little bit, you know.
Now you're right. Maybe it was that.
I mean, I'm doing the same thing, but I just communicate to him like, "Hey, look, everything's gone up, so here's your." Because I want to make sure it's clear, like you're not doing Well, that's a terrible way of saying it. It sounded better in my head. I'm going to say it anyway. You're not doing better. Everything's gone up, so I want to make sure you're compensated. And not that I say it like per beta for that, but I make sure, I want to make it clear, like, this isn't like a performance raise. This is just like, I'm making sure that you're taken care of because everything's getting more expensive. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Why does it sound better in my head, but when I say it out loud, it sounds terrible? But... so I said it in the presence of like, here's your I don't remember what I called it, but it was a bump in pay is basically what it said. Here's your bump in pay, and it was because everything's gone up, and I want to make sure like you have enough to take care of your inflated costs, and that was basically what it was. But I was clear like it wasn't like a productivity style bonus or productivity or anything sort of raise.
I don't know. I mean, I just felt like for me, I was.
Well, how many raises did you get in the 30 years you worked for him?
Not 30 years, man. Come on now. It was, just on those, 16 years? No. It's 10 years that I was there. Man, I got to say maybe 3, if that.
That definitely sounds like inflationary raises.
You really killed it, man. This whole time I was just like feeling good about it.
I got 3 raises. Yay me. I'm really killing it.
But, that was me, and I guess like just like everybody that comes through and you kind of expect the same thing I expected. Same thing I expected. No way. But now I kind of realize that now that I think nobody could be me.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Well, you wouldn't want them to be either.
No. No. So I want them to be better than me.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's a good point.
So I realize that everybody's different and that everybody's needs are different.
Oh yeah.
So now that I'm in this side of the line, I gotta, I guess you could see them as kids. I gotta look at my kids and say, okay, he's got different needs. He's got different needs. So. And I got to cater to them as, their own needs. Yeah. So, and that what makes it hard. Really hard.
But, I think that blurs the line too, because it's easy to think of them that think of the situation that way of being your kids, but they're not. I mean, they're adults and they're adults, they should be skilled technicians and they're looking for structure. As much as they say maybe they don't and they like the freedom, everyone's looking for structure. And especially being a technician, you want to fix something. You want to find what's broken and fix it. And so giving an expectation of like, this is what I need, and having it cleared out and laid, like, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what I need you to do, and giving them the year-long period to fix that, I feel like for me would be very useful. I never had that. I don't know if that's the perfect solution, but in my eyes, I never really got that. I was like with you. I was like, I'm going to work harder. But I had no idea what I was working harder for. Like, what am I, like, do I do oil change faster? Do I buy new tools? What do I do to be better? Yeah. And a lot of it was education. I need to learn more. I need to take what job here in the shop is the hardest one that nobody else knows how to do. Building transmissions. Okay, I'll do that. I'll learn how to build transmissions. Because at the time, the builder was never there. And I mean, if you know transmission builders, most of them are
extinct
or alcoholics or, I mean, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. So the thing was, like, I saw a lot of transmissions not being built, and that was one of the holes. Like, well, I'll just learn how to do that. That'll make me more money. And it didn't, because of the shop, I mean, you understand where I came from. Yeah. So just wasn't a lot of structure behind it. And he was just like, cool. Like now I got someone building transmissions and I can pay him the same that I was paying him before. And I was like, well, that didn't work good for me. Like, and I don't know. It was definitely...
No, yeah.
It was good for me. Like, I still was like, that's cool. Whatever. I know how to do this now. I'm going to keep learning.
Yeah.
And try to find the next thing to do.
No, for me was, I mean, like at every shop that I was in before, for me it was just like finding the most experienced, biggest tech in the shop and take them down.
Wow.
You know, I'm saying in the sense of, you know, learning and being better than that guy. So that was always been my drive is I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. I'm going to be better than this guy and so on and so forth.
But better how? Like, what do you mean by better?
Just knowledge wise, learning how to, you know, do
the job faster, diagnose quicker, diagnose more correctly.
All that, you know.
All of it.
Diagnosing, doing the job, taking on, you know, pretty sophisticated or specialty jobs that nobody could do, you know, and then when there were certain jobs that nobody, you know, you even to say you call around past all the shops and, hey, have you ever done this before? Everybody, no. And I find out you're the only one who did it, it's like, it feels good. You know, I was like, I did it.
You know what? Let's pivot on that one because that was the next thing I want to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. We're gonna jump ship off this whole technician thing. The freaking problem childs, right?
Yeah. I had quite a few of those. And you had two of those already of mine. So
yeah. So my thought process is, I'm the dumb one for taking this stuff on, right?
No, you're not the dumb one.
No, you're just saying that because I'm helping you out with your problems.
I wouldn't say
now.
you're the dumb one.
No. You're just buttering up. You're just buttering up a little bit right now because you don't want me to keep doing all your problem.
No.
But real talk. Let's so you got problem vehicles and you have a lot of gravy work sitting on the side, or you have work that you can delegate out to your technicians, which is easy, where you have one where you have all your techs look at it and nobody can really figure it out. But obviously there's still that ego. Like we have to figure it out. So then you take it on yourself and you're like, I'm going to figure it out. And I've personally gotten better and better and better with that. And I enjoy an advanced assessment. Like I enjoy the process of it, but at the end of the day, there's so much more work that I could be doing, and my time is so much more valuable than spending $180 or $210 an hour diagnostic on this vehicle that nobody else, in quotes, nobody else can figure out. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I don't think it's the fact that no one can figure it out. I think they're just smarter than me, and they're just moving on to bigger and better things and spending their time more wisely than like figuring this diag out, right? Like, that's got to be part of it.
You're part right.
I mean, it's got to be, right?
But like for example, this truck that I just recently sent you. That truck should have not landed at my shop. It should not have been taken on. And that's one of the things I clearly made clear to the guys is like, stuff like this, you can't take on just because there's not the skilled power. We don't have the skilled power for stuff like that. And
yeah, but is that a good or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing. I mean, it's just, I see it as a kind of a bad thing, but it's the same. It's a bad thing that, you know, we're not skilled enough to take this job on. But the good thing is that now we could choose what to take on and not to take on, you know. So this job, some of the older vehicles, which is this like early 90 vehicle, which a lot of the, you know, we specifically don't have much equipment anymore to be able to interface with those vehicles. So now, now everything's all.
I mean, to get into the technicalities of like the repair, some of the older ones, I mean, the newer ones are easier because it tells you what's wrong. You hook in and it tells you what to do and flow charts and whatever. Like, I mean, it's easy. It's easier, you know, unless it's like a 2018 Ram, because then you got to have freaking the security link and everything else.
Oh, you already went to that too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, we got two scan tools now uploaded with the security link.
I thought it was the only one.
No, I think a lot of people already have that. Oh. It's been a long time.
I guess that was
like 2017 Rams. Man.
Oh, really?
It's been like 5 years.
No, we went through that with the.
Yeah, you can't even clear codes without the auto auth and the security link. That's been like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, I've had it's been a couple of years. My Apollo's it's like the 3rd year I've had it. Then I just uploaded another one actually today, so we don't have to keep using the one because I get so many of them now. It's like I got everyone because I got 3 scan tools, right? So it's like they pull the other 2 and they can't. So now we have like 2 or 3 of the RAM or the Jeeps in at a time, and it's like everyone's fighting over the one scan tool. It's like, all right, let's just put it on the other ones. It wasn't that big of a deal. I don't know why I was waiting so long to do it, but anyway, this one that I dealt with was a Dodge product. So anyway, I mean, yeah. So that makes them easy when they're newer, but when the older ones, it's also in a sense a little easier because there's not so much stuff going on. Like it's more mechanical, and there's not so many sensors involved in the process of like repairing it. But I guess the main thing is like, what's the smarter business decision? Yeah. And I guess it really comes down to your staff, right?
Yeah.
And it's like how important it is to you to be able to take that job on versus just like sending it down the road and then just taking in the easy stuff. But I guess if you don't have, okay, so that's another good point. You're like, well, I don't have a lot of work anyway, so I'm just going to take this in and lose my ass on it because at least I'm doing something. But there's so many more things you can be doing even if you don't have other work. So I don't know, how do you deal with that situation? Like, is it worth investing the time to learn it?
No, honestly, I don't. I mean, you don't see those cars on the road much anymore. So just like it's like the Ford Tauruses. I mean, have you seen one on the road around here anymore? No.
Yeah, but the gravy work eventually is going to die out.
No, yeah, it will.
I mean, not like permanently, but throughout the year.
Yeah, it's going
to the maintenance work, the gravy work's going to kind of be taken care of to a sense. There's still going to be trickling in, but that big flood of like May, June, July stuff. And then all that's going to be left is those kind of as vehicles. And if you can take the time to train yourself or train somebody else to do it, they're going to be around and relevant for a while. Like, I don't know. Like for the most part, I do well with it. I don't have a problem with them. But like I said, there's some of this like, man, I could be really spending my time doing something more important right now.
Yeah, but you see, I kind of
like building a transmission or helping the rest of the team out with what they got going on, because I could spend 10 or 15 minutes with each of them continuing to point their compass in the right direction.
Right.
And they don't need much. I just need little course corrections here and there. But I can spend my time doing that, and just like it's just pushing such a bigger thing than me just trying to fix this one problem child. Like I can spend like 2 hours with this problem child, or spend two hours like, hey, so change this on this, on this estimate. This needs to be changed here. Then get out of the office and go out like, hey, what are you looking at? Okay, well, here, do this instead. Hey, why don't you did this and that? Well, why don't you test this and check that? It sounds like you need to go this direction. And then I do that 3 times, and now everybody's course corrected. And it's like such a bigger push for the shop, as a whole. I feel like there's such a better way to invest my time than trying to like fix this freaking nightmare,
it is. And then that's kind of the reason for that. That's why I chose not to work on these anymore. Because I mean, obviously I pretty much started working on these type of vehicles when I first started. Yeah. So, back then I knew quite a bit about these vehicles and well experienced in these vehicles, that as the years went by, I slowly started seeing less and less of them, and I stopped working on a lot of those now. So now I'm at the point where, shoot, I would have to dust off my knowledge here on these cars and try to, remember some of the old school tricks that I used to do or know and whatnot. And it's like I told these guys, is like, if all this stuff is beyond you guys, because you guys never really worked on a lot of these vehicles, given that 2 of my techs should have know a little bit about those, because they also started right in the same era as I did. But obviously my new guy and my other 2 guys there don't know much about those. Like, you shouldn't be taking those on, because of the way I want to be stuck with them myself. And I don't have the time for that. Yeah, I got other stuff I got to worry about. I don't have time for stuff like this, and that's sure enough, that's what happened. But a lot of my clientele that I have, I mean, don't have vehicles like this. Yeah. So that's why I don't worry about them too much. Every so often, I mean, you get stuff like this that come in or they call in, and it's kind of random or rare when that happens. And I just tell them, no, we don't work on those. Honestly, I set the guideline as, anything 96 and newer will do. But 90, 95 and older, I said stay away from that. And given that some pre
yeah, but that doesn't. I mean, I get where you're trying to go with that, but you're still going to have a problem, child. You're still going to have a 2017, 2018, 2019 that's going to cause you a problem.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you eliminate all that? And it's like, so then what's the point of eliminating the older ones?
You don't, because at least,
I mean, you can bump your labor rate up with the older ones, right? You make more per hour. There's less people that want to work on them. So I'm going to be the devil's advocate and go the other way on this, right? And that's the thing. It's like some of those older cars, people are willing to spend whatever it takes to keep them on the road because they've spent so much. They love them. They're attached. If they're driving around a 1990, if they're driving a 1990 vehicle around, yes, there's the few that are living out of the vehicle and they just can't get something else. But if it's like a decent 1990s vehicle, they love that thing.
Right.
They love it, and they'll do whatever it takes to keep it on the road.
See, and that you could tell. You could tell by the condition of the vehicle.
Right.
I mean, if it's something like, what, this guy does.
But what I'm saying is there's no reason to completely shut that out when there is money in it. It's just got to be delegated correctly. It's got to be estimated correctly. It's obviously not a 2010 or 2015 or 2020 vehicle. And so for me, the labor rate goes up, and that's fine. It just makes sense because there's more time. I mean, you can't, on a 1990 Ford, you can't just plug in under the dash to check codes, but you can with the 1AB connector, and it takes a little more time. You got to hook the battery up and all that other stuff you got to do to make it work. So it takes a little bit more time to pull codes out of it. But for the most part, it's so freaking simple. There's not a lot to go wrong with them.
You're right about that. And I think for me, it's just been a lot easier to turn that away because...
I mean, if you got other work to do,
I do, because I have other options, but at the same time, I don't get these cars to come in that often. So it's rare when I gotta turn one away because I don't want to work on it. Ever since this problem child that I sent you, I haven't really gotten a call for another older one to come through or any pre-96 vehicle at all. So it's rare. I mean, I don't see them as often as maybe you do or somebody else, but I know they're out there, but I don't get those calls.
Yeah.
So sad to say, I mean, like I said, sometimes owners of those vehicles just follow, shops that.
Well, I've come to find that's like, so we do like 70s and older.
Yeah.
So like 72 and older.
And
then we kind of follow the same thing. We do like 2000 and newer. So I have like two. We just try to separate the two, like 70s and older, 90s or 2000s and newer. And we try to stay away from that 70s, 80s, 90s stuff. Not to say like if it's a certain job, we'll see what it is. I mean, like a clutch job on a 90s Honda Accord. Yeah, I'll do that all day long. Like, it doesn't get a lot simpler. A 1990 Toyota pickup clutch. Like they're gonna spend the money. Like that's a great truck. It's worth, for some god awful reason, $10,000 right now for a 1995 Toyota SR5 4-wheel drive pickup truck. I don't know what's going on with that, but those things are $15,000, $20,000. So yeah, you better believe we're going to bring that in and do a clutch job on it.
And that's the other thing I also listen to first. I mean I don't shut them down right away. I kind of listen to what issues they have. Yeah, because like you're saying, just like this Toyota 1980 something Toyota pickup that I had, which was one of those other vehicles that we shouldn't have gone into that part of the job, which is a carburetor, because those things were just a pain to get or adjust or whatever. But if they would have said just you just need a clutch on it, why not? I mean, that's anything mechanical. It's not, but when it starts,
but if you're gonna get involved in it, you gotta get involved in it,
Yeah, but that's one thing I'm kind of referring to is the diagnosing part of it. I think that's for me is kind of a difficult part of that job on an older vehicle. Well,
it's just like Euros,
Yeah.
Like I've gotten to the point, it's like no BMWs, no Mercedes, no Volkswagen.
That's where I'm at. No,
it's just no. Like he's like, oh well, what? No. I mean, so the Mercedes is a tough one to stay away from because it's a Chrysler transmission, and I know those NAG units, the 7226, 7229s. It's just a Chrysler unit, and they're in the 300Cs, and they're in the Dodge Challengers, and some of the Dodge Chargers. And so what am I going to say? No, I don't work on Dodges because it's got a Mercedes transmission in it. So it's like, well, we can do some Mercedes, but at the end of the day, it's just about having a protocol and just trying to make sure you're sticking to it. So it's like, you know what? It's just time to say no to those ones. Yeah. So no Mercedes, no BMW. Even the BMWs, you got a 5040 GM transmission in it. Super easy transmission to go through. It's just a basic GM 5040 in those early BMWs. So do I work on BMWs? Like, no. Like, I don't... Like, the amount of baggage that comes along with that job is just not worth it. Like, oh, no, I got an oil leak. Yeah, it's a BMW. Of course you got an oil leak. Like, well, no one else will touch it, and you're the last one, too. So, you know, and they try to pin this on. It's like, I don't want me, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just... No, like no, from day one, like I just don't do BMWs.
A certain you may take on a certain job on a BMW or Mercedes or anything European. Yeah, you know,
you break one component and you're waiting 3 weeks.
And that's the thing. And then or certain jobs require certain programming.
Yep,
that's the thing I think about. Do I have that software to do the programming? And it's like since I don't really deal with them,
it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
So no. So at the end, I say, you know what? Nah, let's just stay away from it, and you know, just do a transmission service on something that's going to take some kind of programming. Now, I mean, I say no, I don't want to risk it. Get right in the middle of the job and find out that you do need something, and it's like, now what?
Yeah,
so you can tow it to whoever knows how to. It's like it's just a waste of time. So just like stay away from that.
Yeah,
and that's one pretty good thing we're good at is that. I mean, European cars, no. We could do services, oil changes and stuff like that, brake jobs, but other than that.
See, but why even doing that? Like, why even open the door for any of it?
Because, I mean, brake jobs is just your standard brake job. I mean, what could go possibly wrong on the brake job?
Oh, I can definitely tell you what
is that right?
Oh, yeah.
So far I haven't.
The electronic parking brake?
Yeah. Well, we
gotta have a tool for that.
Yeah, well, we got.
You done one of those on a new BMW?
How new?
I haven't, but I've read about it.
I knew.
There's a procedure. You got to like reset it and turn it back. And
oh yeah,
yeah.
We got done.
But like, so that's what I mean. Like, it's like you got to do it or don't do it, and that's like for the older ones. For me, it's like I'll do it. Like, no problem. Take it in, and then it's all about communication. It's like I'm not setting any expectations. Like, I'll take a look at it. You're gonna pay me for the time.
Yep.
I'm either gonna figure it out or I won't. Like that's your best options right now. Like I'm not promising anything, but I feel like that's our standard procedure for anything. Like these are the steps we're taking. This is what you're gonna get charged, and the outcome could be good or bad. And for the most part, it ends up being good. But every once in a while, you're wrong.
Yeah, well.
And that's okay though. Because it's like you communicated the process, you slowed it down, you did step by step through each part of the way. These are the parts we eliminated. This is what we're down to. We tested it, and this is what our findings have found, and this is the next logical conclusion. And it goes back to like, how much time do you spend checking secondary windings in a coil when you can just swap the coil on plug to the one next to it and test it? You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. It's that situation where it's like, okay, the PCM diagnosis. Well, we've verified everything else is good, so it's got to be the PCM. There is no like these are the specs and the PCM's bad because it's supposed to be in this spec and it looks like this. Like, no, you've made sure everything else is good, so it's the PCM.
That's the only thing that's left.
You know what I mean? Like you've checked your everything. So, and the same with the coils. Like the coil on plug diagnostic, you just swap it to a known good one, and if the misfire moves, it's a bad coil. You break out the scope for that, like. I mean, I do because I'd like to see what it looks like, but I'm not charging the client for that. It's like that's my time, that's my educational seminar, like to look for myself. I want to see what a bad coil looks like and capture it and take a picture of it and load it, and that way I know if I get a weird one, I can go back to it. But
see, this is the reason why I bring stuff to you. He's right here. You answer that question right there. So you can't deny, you're just trying to butter me up. No, this is the reason why.
No.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, but that takes time, and it's like it's hard to get that paid back. And I can't just like sock that money out of one individual. It takes a very long time to recoup that investment. And I feel like when you're starting out, in a shop, it's like, is it worth that point in time to make that investment to become that guru because that's how I felt. You know, I wanted to build transmissions. I wanted to do the hard stuff. I wanted to do the advanced. I wanted to be like the best of the best. I want like everyone to think I can fix anything. But over the years, it's like, man, this feels like this was the wrong direction to go. You know what I mean? Like this, I mean, it all sounds good, but I'm not really making any money doing that. And the money comes from like, when I'm looking through the numbers, is like, well, the money comes from all this like gravy work and all this maintenance stuff that's coming in that I can just feed to the wolves and they just like tear it apart and get it out and go on to the next. It's like, I like that. That makes me feel good when I like, we start turning we get these like, you know, $1,100, $1,200 tickets and they're turning and burning on them like 2 or 3 a day. It's like, oh yeah, like that's what we need to be doing. Why am I messing around with this freaking advanced diag stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, that's where the beginnings come from. And that's what spreads like the good word, I guess. I don't know. And maybe some of them get easier over time.
No, I don't know if they do or not. But I mean, I kind of stopped, you know, like you're saying, you want to be this guru. That's kind of the way I saw myself too. I wanted to be this top guru or, you know.
I mean, not like an ego-based one, but it's like for more myself. I want to keep learning. I want to like everything. How does this work? How does this work? And it's like you only learn by the stuff that you don't know.
And everything I did was just to prove it to myself.
Yeah,
that's always been the game for me.
Yeah,
but after the years, I got to the point where I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You know,
it's understandable.
You got other easier stuff you could do instead of trying to prove to yourself that you could do this or do that or be better than this or whatever. And it's like, you know, as long as you're good enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I just like. It's like, when does that gravy train stop though? You know,
I don't know.
Like, how do you keep that? If you're just searching for the gravy stuff, the easy stuff, it's like that's what everybody wants. So it's like, so now you're spending the money to market to keep that coming in. See, so now your marketing budget's going way up because you're just trying to keep this maintenance work coming in.
The gravy jobs, I feel it was way back then though. I mean, the gravy jobs back then was all this maintenance work. People were actually into maintenance. So it's not there anymore. I mean, I feel like people are just driving their cars to the ground and then something happens and I was hearing a noise for the last week or so and now my car quit.
Yeah.
And if they would have brought it in months ago for maintenance, then all that could have been prevented. So I feel like that preventive maintenance jobs that we used to get back then, which was it was gravy work right there because you know what to expect.
Yeah.
Now they come in broken, you don't know what to expect. You know, now you got diag involved. Now, okay, you know, we got to, fix this part or get this part. And now with the part situation, when are we going to get it? On the back order? Who knows? Back then, at least, it's coming in for a time belt, water pump, spark plugs. Yes, your 100K service. You know what to pre-order. So at least you order that ahead of time and you have all that there waiting. So when the job comes in, pretty straightforward. You go and do that job and you're done. And on to the next one. So if you had 3 or 4 of those jobs lined up a day, man, that's pretty much all you needed.
Yeah.
Now everything's just coming in broken. You don't know what to expect anymore.
Well, it's coming in broken and completely lack of maintenance too. I mean, the average cost of maintenance on a vehicle is between $1,200 and $1,500 a year, and part of that's just because of everything's gone up. But I mean, like you said, part of it's they wait for something to break. And then they want that fixed, but they also expect when they leave that the shop is like fixed everything.
Yeah.
And that puts a lot of weight on the, everybody, the technician, the service advisor, and the owner of the shop. Like if they leave and the wheel bearing starts making noise, whose fault is that? You know what I mean? And I see it as my fault. So we're going to do an inspection. Like you're going to come in, you're going to get a full inspection. I don't care what the problem it came in for. It doesn't matter to me because we're going to capture that in the inspection anyway. And we're going to tell you like, hey, by the way, your engine light's on because it's got a cat code. It's like, I know, that's why I brought it there. Okay, well, also, like, as well as, here's everything else we found because I guarantee like you haven't maintenance this thing in the last 3 years. So like, here's everything else it also needs. And you're not going to like... it's like same thing with ball joints. Like you do ball joints or something because it starts squeaking and then the whole front end's totally loose. they're not going to say, oh, the steering feels a little loose. No, but after you do the ball joints, if you decided to not look at the pitman arm, idler arm, and tie rods, you better believe they're coming back saying the steering feels loose.
Yeah.
You know, like all we did was ball joints because they were worn out. But it's like, well, the rest of the front end's worn out too. And if you don't tell them that, they're just going to come back and say that you did it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, now that someone's touched it and I've been without my vehicle and someone else is driving it, now all of a sudden they're super in tune with their vehicle. And yeah, it's all down to the lack of maintenance and like waiting for something to break.
And now it's your fault because you didn't maintain it.
Yeah, well, it's your fault for not saying anything. It's with you know, like.
Oh, you're right about that.
A crazy mindset when you're talking about like bringing in after a lack of maintenance. But going back to like the jobs that are like the ones everyone tries to stay away from, right? What's the right decision there? I mean,
I don't think there is a right decision.
There isn't, right?
I think it all depends on
it just comes down to the skilled and honestly, it's hard to say. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's like sometimes maybe those jobs are just not, the shops just aren't qualified for them. And maybe you really got to look at yourself and say, I'm just not qualified to do that job. You know? And I think that's where you get burned is like you want to be that, but then you can't. And sometimes you just need to ask for help, right? Sometimes it's just bottom line, I'm full, right? Like I got enough going on. I just need help with this. But sometimes like BMWs, Europeans, I'm just not that shop, you know? Like I'm just not qualified to work on Euros.
Right.
Bottom line.
That's for us too. I mean, not bottom line because we still mess with maintenance stuff, but
of course you do, yeah.
But
same like transmissions, you know.
I don't do as many transmissions as I used to anymore. I send them to you.
I gave you too much shit over that, huh? It's not qualified to be messing with transmissions, you know.
You're right.
But it's like, but you got to really set your boundaries and then like stick to your boundaries. And it's the same like with every aspect, just like we started this thing with like technicians, you got to set your boundaries and have your expectations and stay in your box. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. There you go. That's a key point right there. And for the most part, we already got it down as far as what to take on and what not to take on.
Yeah.
And I told him, from this, we're not going to deviate because we've seen it backfire quite many times. We decided, like you're saying, maybe there was a certain time where we were slow on a job or something. We need more work. Yeah, let's take it on. We need a job. But look at what happened. So you
should have just said no.
They should have said no.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I should have just paid them to go somewhere else. And I was like, here's $100. That's what's going to cost me or more to.
Yeah.
After I can't, just go over there somewhere. So, but, so now at this point is like, even if we are slow, which thankfully, if we got into the position where we're not, now we could pick and choose what we want to take on and what we don't want to take on.
Yeah.
Even if we are slow, we still got other stuff we could do, as far as, we could just take it as a day as a shop maintenance kind of thing and just get the shop squared away or whatever.
Yeah.
But, the slow days only last so long. I mean, they're not, oh man, I've been slow for a week. It's usually a day and that's about it. And then the next day,
a couple of days or maybe
a couple of days, maybe.
I think when you're first starting, I think that's a pretty rattling experience.
Yeah.
I think because they're not few and far between. They're more often than not. And you're just like, I don't know. You don't watch the numbers and you don't have enough data to really have the numbers. And so you're just like, I need to keep working. I just need to keep, I need a car in the bay,
and
then in your mind, you're like, well, if people see cars in the bay, it'll bring more people in. So you try to like rationalize it like that. You try to rationalize like, well, as long as I'm working on something, I'm learning, even if it's nothing. So you rationalize it with that. There's just so many rationalizations you try to make to like take these jobs and that you should not have in your shop, and especially when you're first starting, like, oh, I mean, money's money. Like, even if it's a loss, it'll still have like revenue coming. It's like, no, just no, like,
no,
stand outside with one of them little flippy boards. If it, like, do that before you start working on stuff that you shouldn't be taking on, like, oh, I went around everywhere. Nobody will work on it. Like, oh, I'm free today. I can take a look at it. Well, guess what? That job turns into tomorrow. And guess what comes in tomorrow? Freaking 4 brake jobs.
Yeah.
And you know, like, oh man, what did I do? I got this stupid car in my shop and I can't get rid of it. And it's just the stress and the anxiety. I think it's a bigger thing than anything. And some no one really tells you about, you know? Like the amount of mental load that takes on when you have this car in your shop that is just someone's hounding you about.
Oh man,
and you got so many other things to be doing. Like no one tells you about like having to unload or deal with that mental load that's put on your mind as an owner, as a technician, as a service advisor, as anybody in the shop. Everybody feels that.
Yeah, and I've had my share of those already. Yeah, I got rid of a couple of those headaches there at the shop that, yeah, it's just nothing but time-consuming vehicles.
Yeah.
I've had that for a while, and finally, now that they're gone, oh my God. It's just this big load off my shoulders, just not having to think about those cars every time I walk in now. Now I go to the shop, and now it's like fresh meat.
Yeah.
You know? And new cars coming in, it's like, cool, I don't have to be seeing these same cars here for the last, month or so. Then it all started for that. It's just because, let's take it on. We don't have nothing going on right now. And then the next day we get bombarded. And so that car gets pushed aside for next day. And before you know it, it's like a week goes by and I was like, we got to get this thing done.
Yeah.
And, one thing leads to another and it just.
Well, it's not just get it done, but I need to dedicate a day to this car.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just can't wrap your brain around it because there's like so many other things that you need to dedicate your time to.
Yep.
Versus trying to like dive back into this problem that's like, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
but once you start doing it, you figure it out. But it's like that mental load of like, what do I even do right now? Like, I just need like 10 minutes of quiet time and I can't even get that.
The only time you can get that is, for me, not even coming on the weekend. There's always some kind of action going on the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like coming on a Sunday. I don't want to come on a Sunday. That's my only day off. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do it. Especially if you're going to be doing that. I mean, that's what you can look forward to if you want to keep doing that process.
Yeah, but
and not have like those boundaries for you and your shop.
I don't want to do that. No.
And for me, I've really just like started delegating. Okay, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it, like I'm only going to take on certain jobs at certain times. Like I'm not, like it's like one, and then it's when it's gone, I'll take on the next one. Like, sorry, I'm busy. When can you take it on? I'll let you know. Oh, I'll just drop it off. No, you won't. No. When I say you can bring it in, I'll call you. In the meantime, keep looking around because you ain't going to hurt my feelings if you need someone else to look at.
No, usually that's
so find someone else if you need to in the meantime, but I'm busy right now and I'll get to you because I already have one here that I'm dealing with that I'm using as my learning, as my schooling, and I've been like involved the guys like, hey, look what I found, this is what I do, and hopefully they start picking up on those nuances and like it's all learning experience. Yeah. And I feel like I just enjoy it. So it's like that's why I do it.
No,
business wise, it's probably not a smart move, but I just enjoy it and I enjoy teaching them.
That's good.
Know? Yeah.
No, I usually tell them, I get quite a bit of those calls. It's like, no, I can't take that on right now. I'm about a week out, but you go visit our sister shop at Shifting Gears, and they'll gladly.
Sister shop.
And so, You're being good hands over there.
You're probably going to have to wait a little bit. Yeah, just drive over there and drop it off. They'll probably be cool with it. They're really cool about just like dropping it off in the middle of the day.
So
make sure you park in front of the bay too. Like pull into the shop because that's how you really get their attention.
If you're at it, just rack it up. While you're there, just rack it up.
Put it on the bay, and that helps them out a lot. It takes a lot of load off their shoulders when you just walk in there and start doing whatever the hell you want.
For me, it's easy. You just like, just go see those guys over there. They'll take care of it.
For me, that's
easy, man.
Just make a phone call and they'll let you know. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit. No problem helping you out, but it's gonna be a minute.
Nah, but I can see that here. As busy as you are, that's a good setup you have. As far as one at a time, you have to. You know, because they're gonna pile up. You're gonna pile up and forget about it.
Yeah, once you have one problem, you're just gonna jump to the next one, and then that one just sits there. Yeah. And it just sits there and sits there and sits there. So it's like, if you don't have the next one to jump onto, you're gonna like take the minute you need and then circle back.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get this thing figured out, or let's get rid of it.
Yep.
One of the two. And that's fine. Like, hey, I did what I could. It's time for it to go now. I can't just keep wasting everybody's time here.
Yeah.
You know? And if you want, I can put another hour or two on the books for you. I just don't have a direction to go with. If you want me to keep like beating my head against the wall, I will, and maybe something will come up, but otherwise I just gotta go. Like, you know, it comes to a point like this is as much as I can do for you.
Yeah,
and I need to start really doing that with the technicians. I need to have them look at it, and once they get to a point they don't know, I can put an input in, but I gotta learn to like cut those, like, okay, that's our limit now. Like, if we've collectively come together and we cannot figure it together, like as them technicians, like, okay, that's now our bar, you know? And I feel like that's the next step for me, is like, okay, this is now our bar until we can elevate our education to the next level.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of guys do that where, well, I can figure it out. And so if I figure it out, that means our shop will elevate to the next educational level. Like, no, that's just you. Now you're just like running. Yeah. You know, you're just doing it on your own. Yeah. You're not collectively doing it as a team.
It's not a team. Yeah.
You're just back to square one as you running a shop, and you get really like, I think that's the hardest thing too, is taking a step back as an owner and not being a technician, and realizing the caliber of your shop is not like how smart you are as a tech, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's guys out there that are like world-class technicians that open up shops, and they want to keep that bar real high, but not everybody is a world-class tech.
No.
So unless you want to sit there and have to work on every vehicle, you're not a business owner.
No, you're not.
You're just an owner-operator, which is nothing wrong with that. It just depends on what you want to do. I mean, some guys don't ever want to be an MSO, you know? Some guys don't want $1 million shop. I don't know. It depends on what your goal is, I guess.
I do.
You do what?
I want $1 million shop.
Why?
Just because.
Just because?
Be in that club.
Cool.
Someday.
I'll sign you
close.
I'll sign you up.
Sign you up.
Sign me up.
Sign me up this year.
What about you want to be MSO? Just keep it one location.
Yeah. I thought about that. I mean, as it is, I mean, I to imagine having multiple locations.
Yeah.
I can't. But it's doable. You gotta, have the right.
I don't want that right now.
Yeah.
But I want it's a very complicated question for me, because I want the systems and processes to enable me to do that. But if I were to like tomorrow have like the opportunity to have a second location, I couldn't do it. I don't want that, because I'm not like, like I'm not there. Like I don't want like what I'm doing now doubled. And that's the hardest thing. Like what I'm doing today, what I've done for the last 5 years, like I don't want to double that. That does not sound good to me.
No, I mean, we're not there. I mean, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna.
But you know what I mean? Like I want that to be a I want to be like to the point where I'm twiddling my thumbs. Like we're running a mill 5, whatever, mill 7 a year. And I'm like twiddling my thumbs, like, man, I'm really bored. It'd be nice to open another shop. Like that's the part that I want. Like, of course we all do, but that's the part of like the multi-shop or the MSO that's alluring to me. Like to have it so dialed where you can actually have the time to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should do this. Like I could take this and just blueprint it over there.
Yeah.
But I think some people want the MSO, but they put the cart in front of the horse, and they're like, I found another building. I'm gonna open another building, and I'll just I'll commute back and forth, and I'll work 4 hours there and 4 hours there, and then I'll go home and sleep for 4 hours and go do it again.
No,
You know, like, and that's not the right way to do it, obviously. But
no, you'll know when you're ready, and you know.
Oh yeah, you
and
absolutely.
For me, it's just like once I outgrow, the place I'm at, and I could just say 100% I'm maxed out. This is all.
Yeah, but you're just talking about a bigger shop.
What?
When you max out your location, you're just talking about growing to a bigger facility.
No.
But that doesn't give you the processes to allow you to open a second location. Is what I'm saying.
No. I mean, if for me, what I could totally see myself is perhaps getting a bigger location.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that. Okay, I could, that's doable. I could do that. But yeah, for me to think of a second location, I was like, no.
Right.
I said, I'm not.
Yeah, that's a totally different.
Different. Yeah, I mean, it's
because you're moving with the shop. So if you get a bigger shop, you're going with it. But the problem is like an MSO is like you have to duplicate you, and you can't duplicate you, so you have to duplicate everything in your mind the way you run your shop to another location.
And like you're saying, you need,
and that's impressive. Yeah. That's an impressive thing to do.
You need a blueprint of.
But it's not impressive just to do it. It's impressive to have it work and like actually have two locations that operate simultaneously, like the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like I like that idea. That I like that.
And it just.
But also the thought of having two locations still stresses me out. even if it's as easy as I'm making it sound. I'm just thinking it's still crazy.
Just thinking of my location right now stresses me out,
Yeah.
Just having to think tomorrow I got to go back in there and do it all over again. I'm always stressed now,
And it's only Tuesday.
Yeah, it's only Monday.
Well, it's Monday, but tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow's Tuesday. Tomorrow, yeah. Tuesday, yeah. So it's like, so that right now is out of the question for me. But once I, once I get everything set and procedures in place and stuff like that, and that's right now. I think that's the goal for me is try to improve that place, improve what I got right now, which is like what you're doing, have procedures in place and making sure everybody's following procedures and whatnot. And once I'm there and I see that everything's rolling smoothly, and then at that point I could decide let's just get a new location or bigger location, which I would love. I
think for me it'd be like I'm gonna take like a Wednesday off. That's like my goal right now.
That's
to be able to take like one day off a week.
And
like everything's okay.
No, I think that's my ultimate goal too. I don't think I'm ever gonna be an absentee owner.
Well, you'd have to be to ever be an MSO.
Well, I'm not even thinking about that right now. I know you have to. No. I know you have to. You have to be that when you're an MSO. But But that's like my goal right now is just maybe get one day out of the week.
Just one day. Huh?
One day. That's where I don't have to worry about it. But right now, I'm gone a day. I worry about it because what's going on, and that's one of the things I got to work on myself too. Is that, but once you have everything set in place, then no, there's no reason for you to have any worries. I mean, it's going to run smoothly. Everything's going to get done. But
yeah, maybe.
We still got work to do.
Got a lot of work to do.
Still got a lot of work to do, man.
All right. I'm almost out of wine.
Still got enough there for Leanne. Take home. She left disappointed, and we only gave her half a cup. So take that home to her, man.
I'll take it home, yeah. Another great episode in the books. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
Until next time. Maybe next time we'll talk about implementing 410s. That way you can take your week.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one right there.
Yeah,
Start thinking about that.